Okay. Well, okay. Well, I don't like these two together. You know, Aries just got this combination, and these two can indicate a codependent relationship. Now, I have a feeling that a lot of you guys are really looking at how to be more selfish in your life because you're tired of giving yourself up to people and always trying to be available to others, and they're not being available for you because your underlying energy is the Five of Cups. Underneath that, you have the King of Cups. Yeah. You give a lot of love, Taurus. You really do. And you have a lot of love and how and you know, you do a lot of things for people. That's just kind of the things you guys do. When you're in love, when you're and you're friends with people, you guys end up giving a lot of yourselves. But it's like, who has been giving back? Who you kind of have? It's like y'all whipping out receipts on folks. That's what it looks like. You're whipping out receipts. Like the Five of Swords is like, okay, yeah. So how much have I done for you? the Empress and the Devil are like, yeah, okay, so yeah, I've been busting my ass, making sure that you're cool. What about me? Right? And I get that because the situation is like, you're not in a very stable place either. I feel like that you want to get to a very stable place, or you want to get to a place where, you know, you're in a higher place of commitment. You're working very hard to get there, but you're trying to figure out whether or not it's worth it or not if you have to constantly take care of somebody. Because in the past here, you have the Hanged Man. This is talking about a place of limbo and stagnancy where you're kind of having to look within yourself to kind of figure out a situation or figure out some answers. The Hanged Man also talks about gee whiz. It also talks about needing to kind of see something from a different angle. Like you've probably gotten something already, but you need to see it from a different angle. Just kind of get a better idea of what was going on. But you have that. And I feel like that sets you free. That surrendering to that perspective has set you free in a way. And I think it does open you up to new possibilities, open you up to a higher sense of commitment here, which is really nice. I like that. The Fool in the present. With the Empress, though, that means you possibly are taking a lot more care of yourself, though, because the Five of Swords and the Fool can also indicate talking about taking care of yourself. You guys are really focusing on the self, really start focusing on experiencing things, taking, you know, being open to new things, you know, taking a whole new you're taking a whole new approach to life when the Fool comes up. It's a new beginning. But then you have the Two of Swords in your future, which is really interesting to me since you guys already went through a situation where you had to surrender to its perspective. So now you guys are looking at your future, where you guys see your future as the Two of Swords. It's where you guys are feeling like you guys are stuck, or, you know, not necessarily stuck, but you feel like making a decision about something is going to be extremely difficult. And the reason why you feel that way, perhaps it has to do with this Four of Wands. Right? Like, it's like things have not been very stable lately, and you've been trying to get to some sort of stability. But it's like, with how you've been going about doing things, kind of just being solo and being you, it's kind of like, well, there's some things that I've been doing for a while, perhaps, which is this Devil card here that I see. How do I break this? How do I break the constant flow of things that people expect of me? And remember, we talked about this last week. Y'all were having some situations where you guys were like, I don't think I'm resonating with this sort of way of being anymore. I don't think I'm connecting with this old Taurus way of being, which is always being at other people's disposal. Like, that's what it looks like. Like, you don't know, because you're taking a lot more selfish approach. You're looking at what's missing. You're looking at what's not there. And you realize there's a lot of lack of support here because of, because of how much you emphasize on taking care of yourself. And I think you guys want to put yourself in a little bit more of a vulnerable position. The Fool, the Empress. You want to be more receptive, and I think you want to have more fun and more creative energy. But at the same time, like, there's some sort of status quo that you've got going on here. Now, that status quo wouldn't come up with the Devil. The Devil's all taboo. The things that are not acceptable in society. But the thing is that you also have patterns and behaviors here too that are necessarily not very beneficial to yourself. Not saying that they're bad right? There could be really good things, right? For instance, like I said before, you guys are very helpful to people, but those habits may be putting yourself behind and letting other people succeed. And that may be the time that you're just realizing, like, well, is it worth me? Is it worth it doing this? Am I putting this Four of Wands situation that I want to get to on delay? Because I'm always compromising. I'm always giving up of myself. And that the Two of Swords is like, well, the Two of Swords, yeah, it's like, it's a hard decision to make regarding helping people. Because you guys, deep inside, you love people. You love helping people. You love to give of yourself. But at the same time, you do love yourself a little bit more. Luckily. You luckily love yourself a lot more than you love helping other people. It's not a bad thing, by the way. It's good to put yourself first. A lot of people in this world do not put themselves first. And that's the thing. We need, as people, to put ourselves first so that we don't feel like we need to do that for other people so we get validation. And I don't think you do it for validation's sake. I think you do it because you love people. You love helping people, but that's the way you do things. So right now, it's all about connecting with your true Taurus energy, being the Taurus energy of pleasure, of happiness, of abundance for yourself, creating great things for yourself. But it has to do with kind of conquering these issues here, conquering these old patterns. Now, your goal, aim, ambition is the moon. And the moon does indicate here, this is time of confusion, of uncertainty, kind of trusting your intuition, kind of going with the flow. There's no right or wrong way to go with this moon because there's no way you can see anything really. Anyway, the only light that you get is from the moon when it's full. But these two together kind of work hand in hand because this is a fearless energy. You have no fear here, but this is tackling fears, the moon. I'm going to go ahead and clarify that for you guys, though. Why is the moon coming up as their goal, aim, ambition? Okay, like I was saying, these two go hand in hand. You got the Fool to come up with it. Wow. Okay, I swear I shouldn't be so surprised every time I pull a tarot card and they kind of go and like pretty much confirm what I just say. But it's always nice. I don't know, but the moon and the moon and the Fool is conquering your fear. It's being fearless right now. Being fearless to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm gonna do this for me. I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm doing this for me. You're gonna put yourself first, Taurus. That's the hard part, right? The Two of Swords is just saying, you know what? I have to do this. I have to put myself first. Let me see why you guys have the Two of Swords in your future, though. I already know why, but I just want to know what they come out with. Why is the Two of Swords in Taurus's future? Page of Swords, yep, the truth. The truth. Page of Swords talks about truth, guys. Your truth. And I feel like you may have to kind of just say what you need to say. And it may be hard to do, of course, because this could be regarding loved ones, family. But you can't, I feel like you guys just realize that you've lost some things and you're shifting your focus to what you can do with it. You're not necessarily looking at what's not there. You're looking at what you need to do to shift it. And the things that you may end up losing, shifting that. What is the sacrifices that you will have to make to get to this place of, where you can feel good about where you are. So you can feel proud about where you come from. The Empress, again, like I showed you in your external energy, talks about, taking care of others, taking care of yourself. This is abundance. This is patience. This is nurturing, creativity. I think you're creating something new, and you're creating it with an open mind and open heart. And you're going into it with an open mind. Most importantly, biggest thing open is your heart at the moment. You guys are really going into something new, and you're trying to start something new, but you don't really want that baggage with you. You have a small bag here that's around over your shoulder. You're not trying to carry the whole world with you. You're just trying to carry your belongings. You're not trying to take anybody necessarily with you. If they want to come, they can come with you, but they have to handle their own business. You're not looking to babysit nobody on this trip to this move, this happiness. A place of expansion. Why is the Four of Wands crossing? What is the Four of Wands? What is the Four of Wands? Here. The Six of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, balance. You want a stable place that has a solid give and take. You want to make sure that you're being compensated for the things that you're in. Like, you want to be in a relationship with someone, sure, but you don't want to be giving your ass off. Like, literally. You don't want to be doing so much that you're not getting anything back, or you feel like you're not getting anything back. So some of you guys may even be preferring the single life right now because you don't want to be giving up of yourself so much. Like, I don't think you have a problem with it. I don't think you have an issue with giving of yourself. That's not the thing. The thing is if what are you getting back? What are you sacrificing? Are you getting the support that you're giving someone else? I'm telling y'all whipping out the receipts. But your outcome is showing the Devil here. And it's finding the power to overcome situations that you don't feel like you have a lot of power in. And it may be certain patterns, certain ways of being. You know what I mean? Like, you've been doing something for so long, people are used to it, but that doesn't mean that you can't change. That doesn't mean that you're not allowed to change. The circumstances around you are used to you being chained up. But does that mean you stay chained up? Hell no. Sure as hell doesn't. You are allowed to live the life that you want to live, Taurus. And if that means that you have to tell people to go and find their own way of doing something, pick up their own plate and put it in the sink and clean it, clean their own damn kitchen, find their own way to the fucking club if you want to hang out with me, that's fine. You know what I mean? You can't be hanging out with people that want you to do stuff for them all the time. I mean, you can if you want to, but you know what I mean? Like, if you've been trying to be you for a long time and you're realizing that people are just around you right now because of what you can give, what real support is that? I get you. I get you, Taurus. You know, I get you. Let's go ahead and see what's going on in your oracle area of the week. See what the Wisdom of the Oracle has got to say. Oh, leg up. Amen. Don't be doing stuff by yourself though either, Taurus. Okay. Now, the same message with Aries. Like, if you guys are just comfortable with doing stuff by yourself, you may just need to stop for a second and really look at what are you doing. Like, you don't have to do it out by yourself. You can ask people for help. I get that you've been helping other people out, and it's kind of like, you know, it's something that you like to do. But as a fixed sign, you know, like, you got a lot on your plate too. You're aware of a lot more responsibilities and a lot more of a structured thing than other signs. That's not a bad thing. But seriously, if you do need some help in your life, as much as love as you've been giving out to people, let them give us back to you. You know what I mean? I always say I don't usually tell people what to do. I've been telling people what to do a lot lately. And please forgive me for that, because I don't want to be the boss of your life. And I really want you guys to be more proud and more comfortable making decisions on your own. But seriously, a leg up is saying, like, stop helping people if they don't want to help you. Stop, you know, rejecting help because you think you can do it yourself. You can do it yourself. Nobody's saying you can't. When people offer your hand to you, it's totally not to say that you're incapable of doing it on your own. And I get the pride of wanting to do it by yourself. But should you do it by yourself? The Empress is pregnant. Do you think she should be gardening, lifting weights and shit? Hell no. She's probably still going to do it, but do you think she should be doing that? Think of yourself as a pregnant woman. Even if you're a man, think of yourself as a pregnant woman. Would you do things that you probably shouldn't do as a pregnant woman because you can do it? Probably not. And it's not because you're weak and you're vulnerable or anything like that. It's none of that. It's just that it just doesn't make sense sometimes. Love yourself. Treat yourself the way you want to be treated. And if you need help, then you have to be open to help. You don't have to go and get to this Four of Wands alone. You can receive love and support just as much as you always give it. You always give support and stability, guys. You always do. Let someone else do that for you. Don't feel like you have to do it by yourself. Don't feel like you always have to give people help. You know what I mean? Because you guys deserve to be given help too. And that's one of those things too, is with the moon and the fool. It's like being vulnerable and putting yourself out there and being fearless. And being yourself, being you. Part of that is allowing people to help you out. And then consider your foundation from the whispers of love comes up here. The caption says, you are being asked to look at how committed you are to love. How committed are you to yourself? That's what that means. When you love, when they ask, are you committed to love? It means, are you committed to yourself? Because you can say you're committed to your mom, you can commit to your family, your kids, your father. You know, you can say you're committed to everybody, but that doesn't mean that if you say you're not committed to yourself, that's a really big piece of the puzzle missing. How do you love others without loving yourself? So when you consider your foundation, you consider who you are. You consider yourself. You consider the love in your heart. If you love yourself, and you always consider yourself, you will never feel like you're always having to. You won't feel like you're left out.